Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Chatter After Live. Applause.
Live, live, live,
Ah.
live.
We need a soundboard.
I
Right?
know, that's the next thing. That's the next thing.
I'm gonna invest in one so I can have it here. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Today has been a big day for gaming, and we've got a lot to talk about. Some good, some bad, some ambiguous. I don't know. But before we get to that conversation, I'd like to introduce our panelist and guest and host and all the things. So let's start let's start with you, Didge. How's it going? How's things been?
It's going good. Like you said, there's a lot to talk about within gaming, both good and bad. But just happy to be here.
We're happy that you're here, Didge.
Yo, what's
Trayvon,
up?
Oh,
welcome,
hi.
welcome.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. As the I feel like the least seasoned gamer here. This should be fun to talk about this stuff. Yeah, good and bad stuff is happening every day. It seems.
Yeah, yeah,
Says
that's
the world we
Ain't
live in.
that the truth?
And Joelle, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm good. I guess I'm excited to start this conversation.
uh, that's good. If you guys are watching this as we are live, a state of play has happened today, the very first of 2024. And
Mhm.
I just first like to kind of get everybody's rating for the show. I feel like last year's both the state of play and the PlayStation Showcase left a lot to be desired, but today I'm pretty happy. I give it a B plus. I give it a B plus. What about you, Didge?
I'll give it a B for a very petty reason. I was promised Elden Ring by
Oh
nobody except my own, my own delusions. But
no,
no one but my own delusions. But it didn't happen, so it loses that B plus to a B.
I see. All
I'll,
right. Well, go ahead, Trayvon.
I'll join you in being Delulu. So so mine, I'm giving it a B minus because I didn't see Hogwarts Legacy, nor did I see anything about Spider-Man 2 DLCs. So
Yeah.
look, I'm sorry. I was like, okay, this is what they're gonna give me. Nope. All right. So it's fine. Everything else is fine.
No.
I like four or five games I saw. Other stuff, that's for y'all. But
That's
No, okay.
that's it.
All right.
Nice. Joel, what would you grade this state of play?
I think B is good. Yeah, it wasn't nothing crazy like the one we had a couple of years ago, but I thought this one was good enough, and nothing really bored me. 'Cause that's what you look for. Like that looks interesting.
Mhm.
Almost everything made me say it looks interesting, even if I don't even like Death Stranding that much.
Death Stranding was confusing.
It's weird. It's a weird thing.
Man.
I mean, it looks cool, but also I don't know what's going on.
Was that the one when I
Yeah.
looked away from the screen and came back? There was a baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's the one.
Like, oh, weird stuff going on there.
I was
Yeah.
like, huh.
I watched, I think it was like 5 or 6 hour video essay talking about Death Stranding over the course of a few days. Because I just turned it on at first, because I'm like, oh, something to fall asleep to. I won't listen to this at all. And then I stayed up for several days listening to this damn video essay. And I'm very intrigued to see where this is going. I also don't understand a lot of what was in the trailer, even after having the story and everything spoon fed to me. But I also feel like that's kind of part of a Kojima game a little bit, you
You're
know.
not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's
But
very true.
You don't
this
fully
is even more
understand it.
confusing than Metal Gear by
Yeah.
many standards.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of Metal Gear and games that we're looking forward to, I asked everybody to pick one game that they were excited about or maybe piqued their interest at the very least. For me, it's Stellar Blade. I have been waiting for an update for Stellar Blade practically since it was announced.
It looks so
So,
good. I
it looks
cannot
amazing.
wait. I really cannot wait.
Yeah, that's day one for me for sure.
For
100%.
sure.
100%. But yeah, Didge, what was your game? What else interests you?
I'm gonna roll them both together. Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill: The Short Message. Silent Hill, that series as a whole is amazing. So I was super happy to know that we're getting Silent Hill 2 again. But they shocked us with that Silent Hill Short Message. It's free to play. It's available now. I almost skipped the stream so I could just play that, but
Dang.
so I can't wait till after we wrap up here. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Ooh, you might have to stream it. I might
Yeah,
have
I
to.
was trying to ask people about it, and it seems like I was asking, we were watching it all together. Brendan was saying about how much of a scaredy cat he is, so he won't be playing it. Mike and AJ seemed like he'd be down to play it, but some of the other people in the chat, they seem like they also probably would not be there.
Yep, I would definitely not be playing it myself. I will watch somebody else play though, for sure.
Yeah,
I can get up and
it.
leave.
Right.
Yeah,
but you can pause it. You can pause it now while you're playing. Watch it, play it with the lights on.
I'm not inviting any negativity into my home.
That's right. That's
all
right.
If that's what we're calling. I clearly invite a lot of negativity. Maybe I need to think about that.
There you go. Need cleansing.
I'll burn some sage while I'm playing.
There you go.
Hey, listen. Right after that, play Foam Stars.
There you go.
Clean you right up.
There you go. Nothing more positive.
That's a cleansing.
All right. I don't know if I'm going to wait a week.
Oh man, Trevon, how about you? What game piqued your interest?
Dragon's Dogma 2. Recently I tried the first one. First one's dated right now, so I tried it. I was like, I like the concept. I just didn't like the execution of the first. Like the first one's just very. It's not that fun to play.
When did the first one come out?
You play it?
Like a week ago.
It's a 2012 game, Jamie.
That's
a week ago, and I didn't. But this one looks updated and fun, and looks like a little more abilities, and look like you actually get on the thing you're fighting. Because in the game, because this game, the first one you cannot. You can't do that. At least I didn't figure out you could. So, but in the second one, like you would jump on the creature and fight it and stuff.
Yeah,
it looks more fun. So yeah, it looks more entertaining, more fun, more abilities. I'm all about the magic and stuff. So yeah, so that looks fun.
Awesome, Joel. How about you?
I think aside from like Rise of Ronin, which was obviously something that looks really cool, that I might get. It's kind of too similar to Ghost for me, but I do like it. It looks with a twist. It's like Rise of Ronin. It's like Ghost with a twist. But I think the game I look forward to the most. The game I didn't see anything for, which is what Kojima's announcement of he's going to do a new espionage game. And I love me some Metal Gear Solid, and he's going to bring me a franchise that he's going to have full control over over at Sony. I mean, can he do something similar?
Well, over at Kojima Productions.
Well, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, but I got to keep you in check.
Kojima here at Sony.
They're partnered together.
Yeah. Xbox is gonna have their Kojima shit, so you guys.
But listen,
in your mind shit.
He didn't say it was exclusive.
We're gonna get that spinach.
Listen, Kojima's trying to get all the bags, okay?
As
Not
you
just
should.
PS bag.
As
trying
you
to get
should.
all the bags.
Word.
Which is why that game might be exclusive to PlayStation.
No,
you have a PlayStation, Jamie. You are fine.
I do. Listen, I'm trying to stir the pot a little bit. Throw some spice in this. Trevon, this kind of leads into our conversation. Our topic of the night is the video game industry dying. And one of my kind of thought starters / I guess just comments is the fact that a lot of these game budgets are ballooning and cost more than these blockbuster films that come out every year. To the point that they announced at CES that Gravity Rush, the next I guess, continuation of the series is going to be a movie. It's not going to be a game. And it's probably a lot cheaper to do. So it'll probably be more profitable. And something that's kind of been in discussion is like, we found out that Last of Us Part 2 last year, it cost like at least $200 million something dollars, like a lot of money, to the point where you're asking, are we even making a profit here? So, and that,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
it's
That's an
not
old game, right? They remastered, right?
it applies to oh, sorry, say that again.
I'm saying that's an old game that they remastered. That's not a new game. So
Last of Us Part 2?
yeah, right? Isn't it?
It's not
no,
old.
the remaster is not the one that cost that much. The actual
no,
development.
The actual game.
But like even at that, like Cyberpunk was estimated to be about 313 million.
Right.
What?
So it's like these games, regardless
after
of the
they fixed
publisher,
it, or initially.
Well,
that's a good question.
That is a good question.
how much after? Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Hell of a release.
I mean, what Final Fantasy was estimated like 275.
Right. A lot of these games, like regardless if it's Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they cost a lot of money to make. And at some point it's gonna be like, are we even seeing like the returns from making games like this big? Because there's been a lot of talking in the gaming community just about like, I want small games with smaller budgets and more dedicated teams, games that like kind of like more AA or even dipping into the indie scene. So I'm just curious what everybody's perspective is on like kind of moving towards these more smaller budget, maybe AA games or just shorter games in general.
Yeah, that's
it's tough because you got to look at it from two aspects. Like as a consumer, as a games fan, Elden Ring, for example, I love that game. I'm sure that game, I don't know any estimates of how much it costs, but I'm sure that game costs so much to make. But I also put in, I think, damn near like 200 hours in it.
Yeah.
So I felt like I got my worth of it. But then at the same time, that means games probably right now they're 70. Are we going to start getting into the world where game goes to 80, 90?
Ooh.
And then it's where do you go from there? Or are more games going to get supplemented into like a Game Pass, a PlayStation Plus, some of those things? And then what does that do for the budget? It's the question of the day of like why are we posing it like this is just because it's what's going on right now.
Yeah,
that and all the layoffs. I mean,
yeah, I mean, and that's like that's another thing.
It's like every day. Like, who want to work here?
Yeah,
I actually I follow a guy on LinkedIn that's one of like the top voices in the game industry or something like that. And apparently every month he does kind of like a little newsletter talking about all the layoffs, which I'm like, why you want to turn that into a newsletter? Like, it is informative, but also I wouldn't be the one to write that. I wouldn't want to write that every month, but it's
dark.
Somebody has to though. He's doing justice with that.
He is.
You can keep up with it nowadays. There's so many.
Yeah. I think he was counting like 100, maybe no, I think it was like 200 something within like the past couple weeks or something like that. So
well, I mean, Microsoft, their latest ones was 1,900 by itself.
Yeah.
And granted, a lot of those might have been just results of the merger, not necessarily full on just industry bubble type things. But then there's been reports of Microsoft slashing their entire physical media department because they're going to go all digital. So it's like, it's a weird time within gaming because like we said at the jump, there's so much to be excited about, but at the same time, there's so much to be scared about. Like it's easy to feel fear because of what you see with developers losing their jobs, artists losing their jobs, all of that. But then you go watch a state of play and you're like, holy shit, this looks exciting. That looks exciting. I can't wait to buy that. And it's the sustainability of it all. And that's before you even get into like ownership. And I know we're going to talk about stuff like that later, but when you start getting into, with the subscription model, what does ownership mean for gaming and stuff? It's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, since you talked about the ownership thing, I mean, that's the So that's pretty much the hottest topic. Except for we're talking about that. Then hey, they laid off 10,000 people. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and then you find out Best Buy getting rid of all their physical like setups for movies, games, stuff like that. I'm like,
I
what's
think they're
happening?
keeping games. I know for
They're
sure
keeping
movies
games?
are
Oh, so
gone.
movies are gone. Okay.
But
Oh.
I think it's Walmart that's starting to get rid of, like, I know they already took Starfield out. Like
Yeah.
physical media for Starfield is already gone, and it's like it's been less than 6 months.
We've been
Yeah.
having some like weird little
Joel, don't make a comment.
scares.
Joel,
I ain't
don't make
saying that. I ain't
I
saying
saw the
that.
look.
Yeah.
It's funny because like people are saying, "Oh my god, they're giving away Starfield for like 99 cents or something like that," and then somebody else is like, "No, no, they're trying to get rid of the stock. So when they do that, they just mark it down to a price that's like
Mhm.
really, really low, and then they'll just hold it. Like you won't be able to buy it; they'll just
Yeah,
hold
it's
it."
just there, and then essentially Microsoft pays it because if it's coming from the publisher, which I think in the leak that they showed, it said like publisher demanded or whatever. So it's not even
That
that
is
Walmart's
interesting.
like, look, we're not trying to have physical media here. It's literally Microsoft is coming saying, yeah, get rid of that because again, it's the everything that we've heard about their push to digital.
Yeah,
So
I'm almost like, I don't know. That's just interesting. Like, what are you gonna do with all these discs? Or
destroy
even
them.
if, and honestly, is there even a
Recycle.
disc in the box, or is it just a card with the code on it? Because that
Sometimes,
happens a
yeah.
lot too.
Also true.
Accept that.
Like this collector's edition is all there's digital in them. There's no
Yeah,
physical, which is weird.
sometimes
Weird
it gets
case.
it. It's weird. Yeah, sometimes it'll come
Soulless.
with a steel book, but then you won't get the disc.
It's a
It's like,
shell.
what's
Color
the
code.
point?
I'm like, what? Yeah, it's really
That's
It's
weird.
funny.
so
It
strange.
said still book, not still book plus disc.
Yeah. Like, what am I
That's
supposed to do with
wrong.
this? Download
That's
it.
wrong.
I think
That's so awful.
one of the things that I like was like a little shocking to me was when they were. I know this is not. I mean, it's games, but I know like movies related, digital still. But when they like talked, I forgot what category of movies, but Sony was getting rid of all these people's catalog of something. I can't remember what
Oh,
studio
the
it was.
Discovery. Yeah.
Mm.
But stuff
Yeah,
like that is
Discovery.
scary. I'm like, so you can just like erase it, like even though you pay for it and everything, like it's erased.
Yeah,
So
for
that
real.
just made me think about like like Hogwarts Legacy. I do complain about the game, but the game is damn great. Now, if I wonder if one day, like 5 years from now, I want to jump on the broom again, like because I know that's the next game gonna take like 6 years. So probably 5 years from now, I probably will still have the second one.
Damn.
So I'm just saying, so I can jump on the broom again. What if I can't? I'll be real bad.
No, yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's very true. Like, I do that all the time. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I beat that game. I think when did that come out? 2018, maybe.
Maybe.
I've just had it downloaded on my system because every so often I just like to load it up, run through ancient Greece, and it's just like when I know I don't have a lot of time to like get into a game. Like if I'm just doing something to kill time before I got to go somewhere or something, it's like, well, I could load this up and just run around through ancient Greece for a while. And it's one day that's not going to be able to happen because I have it digital, and it is kind of frustrating and scary.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what you do or how you mitigate that.
Well, I'll start by saying I don't know if there's necessarily a guarantee that one day you just won't be able to play Assassin's Creed. And it's interesting because I'm also working on a video kind of talking about like the digital landscape or the growing digital landscape of the game industry. And the one of the headlines that popped up, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, was about a Ubisoft exec that was saying like, you should just get comfortable with not owning your games. Like gamers should just get comfortable with that. All the headlines, that quote was kind of not necessarily taken out of context, but there was other context
Around
surrounding it
Sure.
that was not mentioned. So I
but
kind of feel bad for the guy.
that makes for
That's
a
wild.
hell of a headline.
It does. I definitely clicked. I definitely
Right.
So they got me. But one of the things that you said, funny enough, was like, oh, gamers should just get comfortable with buying their games digitally, and even as far as because he was the head of streaming, you should stream your games. You should stream your games, and you don't have to worry about losing the game. You don't have to worry about losing your save. It'll always be there for you to come back to. Which is definitely not always the case, as we've seen with many games, especially online games. I actually found there's like a website called like delisted.com where you can see like all of the like hundreds to like thousands of games that have been delisted so far. And
NCAA football is one of them.
For a reason.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Hey, not too much, Joel. I'll boot you.
Yeah, he does have power now, Joel. You have to be careful.
Yeah, power now.
He has power now.
All right, good to know.
That wasn't my decision. But yeah, one of the other things I was reading about was DRM, which is digital rights management. I know Didge, you know a bit about that. So would you care to explain to the people what all that means?
Yeah, so honestly, digital rights management, it's the, and I know Trevon, I know you know about it as well. It's honestly right in the name. It's the concept of ownership digitally. So in each piece of software, there's, let's just for lack of a better term, there's some piece of code that ties it directly to you. So that way, whether or not you need to download it on a new system, you want to delete it from your system, whatever, it is tied back to you in the same way for all intents and purposes that a physical piece of media would be. So it's something that's been around forever. Obviously, that's what Steam is built on. That's what almost every single one of
Epic Games.
Yeah, Epic Games. Almost every single one of these.
I'm going to say this with Discard now, too, because you got to download 2 hours of content.
You also do, yeah.
So it's like, you know, that's all it is.
Yeah. So the technology, it's there. It's available. But the drawback of it right now is that that's not what the push is towards. Everything is pushed towards streaming, towards a subscription service.
Yeah.
And that's where DRM becomes kind of null and void, because it goes back to you don't own the game. You own the right to the subscription. It is games as a service.
Yeah, you start the subscription, the game's gone, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that I was kind of looking into is like, okay, well, DRM, it sounds like, you know, there's some pluses, there are some minuses. Is there anywhere where you could just do like a DRM free game? And that's where platforms like GOG or itch.io, granted it's a mainly indie platform, and Humble Bundle. Even though Humble Bundle, they sell Steam keys, they'll also give you a copy of the game that doesn't have DRM. So you could pretty much just, as long as you have like the setup files, you could load the game onto like any machine that you wanted to. Yeah, and like the drawback, of course, like, you know, like we were saying, DRM is pretty much like having the rights to like control your like the digital media, whatever that you might be interacting with. Like the copyright holder basically can control your access to like the game or the media. They can revoke that access. They can pretty much do whatever they want. Yeah. And not having that DRM means that you can potentially pirate games, and either intentionally or not intentionally, it was like, hey, I have this game, like, and I can share it with you, which would technically be illegal because they didn't buy a license of that game.
Right.
So there's like, because of that, platforms like GOG don't get all of the games that are usually available on Steam, because not every developer wants to put their game on a DRM free platform because they want to protect what's theirs, you know, which makes sense.
I mean, we just talked about those budgets. Of course, I wouldn't want my $325 million game to be able to just be freely shared to whoever.
Right. So I feel like at some point we kind of have to get together and say, like, okay, you know, like DRM, the good parts of it is like it's protecting the copyright holders, it's protecting the devs and the publishers, the people that worked hard to put this out. But it's also like tying this game to a platform that may or may not exist in the future. How can we kind of come together to say, like, okay, you know, this person has the license to this game and you can just have it forever, you know, regardless of what happens to the platform, like you will have access to it in some way.
You gotta get the pitchforks out.
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like something
gotta stop it.
Something gotta happen for us to get to that point.
Honestly, Microsoft might have been on the right track when, was it the Xbox One when it first came out? It had to be connected online.
Yeah.
So as much as that flopped, they might have been on the right track when you think of a DRM model for it, because it had to always speak to the internet. They were always able to constantly check. I guess I don't know what exactly they were trying to check, which is why it failed, but something like that. That's how you can always check to make sure, okay, this is a game that you are supposed to have.
Yeah.
Like I said, you would tie it to either your Xbox login, your Sony login, whatever. But it's that idea of now I always know that you're supposed to have this, and you can do things where you can lend it out. And then it comes back to you at whatever time, but there's some type of track record behind it. And I think that's what's needed if you're going to go all digital, because at the end of the day, you have to make the consumer feel safe knowing that whatever they've paid for this game or paid for this investment is going to continuously pay off.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like what Trevon was saying earlier, just buying a game physically doesn't guarantee that you'll always have access to it, because a lot of physical games now have DRM, so they could do the same thing that they could do to you if you bought it digitally. So,
but also having a physical game was never a guarantee. Do you know how many physical games I had that just over the years just kind of wore out because it was constant play, constant moving or whatever? You lose it in a move, you lose it in whatever, it breaks. A lot of stuff can go wrong. Nothing is ever 100% permanent. But
who wants to get up and put the disc in? Just saying.
I will for certain things. I will for certain. Well, actually,
my PlayStation is literally right here, so I can just reach.
Mine is all the way over there.
Reach.
Mine's under my desk. I still don't want to be getting down and crawling in there. What I'll do if I have a game, I rarely ever get games on a disc, admittedly, now. And so if I buy a physical game, it's just staying in the console until I'm done. I'm not changing it. That way, like, I don't have to get up, change the disc, all that. I'm like, no. I'm just playing this. This is my life until it's done.
I do mainly buy digital games, but I actually have a digital system. But when I didn't have the digital system, I had it where it was like, all right, new game in the system. It was right. It's always, because I always play at my desk, so that didn't mean as much to me. But I know for people who don't, I get that part of, do you really want to get up, walk across the room?
Nope.
Which is so crazy, because remember, we used to do it all the time.
I know. We used to sit next closer too, though, because we had cables and there was no wireless.
Oh my God! Remember the first time we had a wireless controller?
Oh yeah, that was wonderful.
I broke my first one.
Jamie, I don't know what y'all talking about. I ain't never had no.
No, I played with the Xbox. I had a wired controller.
Yeah, I had got my first wireless controller with my Xbox 360, and I remember, because you could take it literally anywhere. So anytime I needed to get up, I had, well, at the time, one of my cousins, like, if you left the game, he's like, that's how we would do it. If you set the controller down and somebody else picked it up, it's like, all right, we gotta wait till they die. And it was reckless. So I kept that controller with me every time I walk. I go get some water, me and the controller going up the stairs, me and the controller going, because it's still my turn. And I dropped it down some stairs.
No.
As soon as you would hit forward, he would just keep walking. Oh, it was bad.
Drift.
Yeah, the drift was crazy.
The DRM checking thing just makes me think of, have you guys ever like I had a Switch and like a Switch Lite, and you could like have your account on both, and when you try to open the game, it would like checking to make sure you can play this, like make sure the other switches are playing the same game, like stuff like that. I was like, I wonder if
no double playing.
Yeah,
essentially what
it'll kick you out.
Does. Like, you can be logged in on multiple systems. Like I was logged in for the longest on my brother's system because I was just over there playing one day, and all you had to do was log in first, and that person can play. Yeah, that person can play whatever games you had tied to your account. But the minute you played something like you were playing that same game, it'll kick you out because it knew like you're at two places trying to play this.
Yeah, and there's also, like, I didn't even know this, but they have an activation limit for some games. So even if you had like the physical disc and you took it over to your friend's house, if you were trying to like share it with like 5 of your friends or something, it would be like, hey, yo, like, You can't just
What are you
pass
doing?
this to everybody.
Mhm.
Like, you gotta pay
funny.
for a new copy.
Well, that's kind of funny though. What about like when you sell the game to like GameStop and they resell it? Like, how does that work then?
See,
If you have
So
limits
a
on
lot of
activation.
times what they'll do is because actually DaVinci Resolve does it for their software. You get 2 activations, and if you try to activate into a third one, it logs you out of both of the old activations,
Mm,
and then now you're fresh on this one.
okay. Well, at least it doesn't say you can't do the third one then. I guess
Yeah,
that's
no,
not,
it just logs you out, and so
like if you got
that's
another new
supposed.
computer.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's supposed to, I guess, theoretically give you the way where you can share it with one other person. But obviously it kind of hurts resale because now if you keep that key, you can just keep kicking them out, and
Right.
it's more annoying than anything. But
Well, if they sell the disc, they can't play the game anyway because the disc is
also
what
true, you
proves that
do
you
need
have the
the disc.
license. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not as necessary for gaming.
Yep.
Like what? Like the limits on activation? Like how many? Have you
I remember
read
The Sims
about?
used to be 5.
I didn't know they did that on like console games. Like,
Yeah.
I
Oh, it was
understand for
look.
a PC game, sure, but I didn't a console game. I didn't think they would do that. Like that's what people do. That's like after they finish playing. Sometimes people just give it to their friend if it's a physical game.
Granted,
You know?
I've never experienced this, but I was reading about it earlier. So I
Yeah,
feel like it's
yeah.
like games that come out now. If you just so happen to get a physical disc, which feels like it's getting more and more rare. I don't know if you would be able to like share it with a bunch of people.
Huh?
Interesting. Because
GameStop,
The
your
Sims
days are
was a
limited.
PC game.
Mhm.
GameStop, your
Back
days
in
are
the day,
limited.
it was different, but
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It
GameStop is
is.
a whole other thing.
Count
That's
your
hurt.
days. If they're doing that, count your days.
They're selling PC stuff now, though.
Mm,
They
Yeah.
sell PC parts and stuff. So like maybe that will keep them in business.
maybe.
But I don't like GameStop, so
Yeah.
I would hope that everybody that
cheap
gets
ass
displaced
store.
would
Mhm.
find something better. But
But
as a
what Jamie
company,
means is
I don't
good
like it.
riddance. That's what she meant.
There's
I
anything
got
like
you.
it though, is it? I mean, that's I don't think there's anything like that's
Not
built
anymore.
around that.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
yeah, no.
store?
I mean, you can sell
really.
games to Best Buy,
Mm.
and they prices are just as predatory. I'm gonna be honest. I took a look once. I was like, "Ooh, these are bad."
They're all just like
Yeah.
the
Maybe
bookstore
eBay.
at college. It's awful.
What's crazy is for
Trash.
certain things, GameStop is actually better. Because I was just curious the other day. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll upgrade and get a disc PlayStation 5. So I'll see what I could sell this to, and see. I'll just pay the extra. I probably wouldn't have did it. GameStop said they would have gave me $300 for it.
Hmm.
Best
That's
Buy
not
said
bad.
115.
Oh,
Ooh,
Damn.
because it's $3.99, right? Isn't it digital?
Uh-huh. That's all I was like, that's not
That's
bad.
not bad.
I was like,
Yeah.
so I was like, the 300 is fine. You know, I'll probably have to pay if I wanted the disc. The disc is $450. So I was like, I could pay extra 150, whatever. But like I said, I was just curious to see if Best Buy was going to be similar. And yeah, like I said, they were 115.
Oh,
So
man.
that predatory pricing is definitely a market wide thing.
Mm-hmm. I guess so. They were just the ones to I don't know, I guess it's a part of their brand.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately for them. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on right now with DRM, and I would not be surprised in like the next, I would hope less than 10. I would hope like 5-ish or less. We have a conversation about DRM and like what it means to like have a license to a game versus actually owning a game, because some people have like thousands of dollars worth of games and like Steam accounts, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever it might be, and to just like lose it for whatever reason, unless you get banned or something, that's like you did it to yourself.
Yeah, you kind of.
That just doesn't
It's on
make any
you.
sense. Yeah, but it just doesn't make any sense, and I think it's also just extending to like digital media in general, as far as like movies and TV and music, like what Trevon was saying earlier with like Discovery, like PlayStation is losing Discovery content that they bought. Just like
To be fair, that did get reverted.
it got pushed
for
back.
now.
It
Yeah,
got
for
pushed
now.
back.
For now.
They still have access to it for now. But even I honestly think it was because of the pushback. If not enough people had spoke up, they would have just done it and they would have
Yeah, I
just
think
done
so.
content. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
So, and they could do that for pretty much anything at the drop of a hat. It's just, Ubisoft kind of had I guess like a incident, was it last year or maybe early 2 years ago, where they were going to shut somebody's account down for inactivity and they would have lost all the games in their library.
It's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, I paid for all this, but because let's say I didn't play games for 6 months or whatever. I'm sure it was longer than that. You just
see, that's the thing though. It could just be 6 months. They don't have a set time frame for when the inactivity is, so it could just be 6 months.
That sounds like a lawsuit.
It's
That's ridiculous. Like, come on
it's
now.
insane. But then I was reading in there, they clarified when they were doing like an interview. They're like, okay, so if you've bought a PC version of a game on Ubisoft and you've activated it, your account is not eligible for deletion, so you don't have to worry about that.
Deletion
Somehow, I'm like, that doesn't even make sense to me. That, and if you have an active Ubisoft subscription,
of course,
your account won't be deleted.
Of course it won't, because you're paying us actively.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow. It's gonna get so much more messier than this.
Yeah.
The subscriptions are going up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, I was like, I don't want to keep, like, y'all getting too expensive. I don't want to pay for this. Like,
yeah,
everything's going up. All streaming in general is all like steadily rising, and Amazon Prime I had $2.99 for ad free. It's ridiculous. What's going on out here?
Per person is crazy, or per profile is crazy.
It's insane. But we could theoretically have this exact same conversation for almost every media industry right now.
Yeah.
Maybe except save maybe for music. Music might be the one that's probably the most safest right now, because I think just most people just adapted to streaming and it's just like, all right, whatever. But theoretically, are movies and TV dying because of the streamers? I don't think it's as dire. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think video games are that dire. We are spelling a lot of gloom and doom right now, but there's a lot to be excited.
Yeah,
but
not for the people that work there.
Movies and TV a little bit more secure because they have been preserving them for a long time.
Right.
Whereas games, literally, the code can go missing. That happened with, I think, one of the Kingdom Hearts. They had to rebuild from the beginning because the code just got missing somehow.
Now hold on. Now Disney Plus and Max have been deleting shows entirely.
And I was going to say that is the other thing.
Gone.
There are a lot of shows and stuff that have just you can't find. Let me see.
Words that aren't even old. Like, what was that?
Let me see if
Willow.
I can
What was
find
Willow?
that.
Willow on Disney Plus? That was not old.
They just took it off.
Deleted it. Gone. Like, that's crazy.
Well, it's probably in their
no, this is gone. Like, it's nowhere. Like, they got rid of it.
And that's like, I feel like somehow streaming isn't a part of their preservation efforts, which is so weird. Or at least, I won't say it's not, but it's not as respected just like across the board. So some of the things that have been exclusively to streaming, like they just disappear when they leave the platform, and it's insane. It's crazy.
It was never on a disc. It was never anywhere else. It was really gone.
Yeah, I can't imagine just like 5 years of my life just like poof, it's gone. I have nothing to show for it.
For real.
That would be insane. But were you looking up some like shows, Didge?
No, it was a crazy stat I had saw. Now I can't remember the words exactly, so I wanted to try to find it, where it was talking about the amount of shows that have gone essentially extinct, is for lack of a better term. In the past, it was like 10 or 15 years, is almost equal to like the amount of shows that have been missing from the golden age to now, or something like that. It was something insane, because it was like just the amount of shows that are once they leave any type of streaming, they're just gone. Like, I'm very vocal about how much I am very upset that Love Life season 2 is gone, and they never put out physical media for it. So that entire season is just non-existent anymore. And it's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, it's a wild time and everything. Do you want to talk about these gamers feeling entitled? It's still doom and gloom, but then we can close out on something happier with the Day of the Dev stuff.
Yeah. So hold on, I gotta refresh. I'm like, there's so many entitled people. Hold on. Let me click this. Let's see. What is it? Oh gosh. Okay. So this guy, or I don't know, this person on Twitter was talking about Suicide Squad, and let me just read. I won't read everything because it's just not right, but they say they're talking to the developers for Suicide Squad, which they have pictured, and there are some women on the screen, there's a person of color on the screen, and it feels like it's kind of pointed. They say F you. No, I really mean it. F you and go to hell. We will never be able to coexist with these progressive lunatics. You're destroying every good memory we have. Once the pendulum swings back, I hope you suffer twice as much as we do. And not only do they have like the devs pictured, they also are comparing to like Arkham Knight and like the Arkham series, where you see like Batman and Harley standing together, and what else is in it? It's just there's so
Batman.
much. I guess you also see a mostly white male dev team.
That part was very like, y'all just mask off at that point.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of pictures about like the Suicide Squad or Rocksteady talking about like trans rights and gay pride and women in games and lots of other things that it's very clear what they're upset about. They're not upset about this game. They're upset at, well, maybe they are upset about the game, but also the people around the game as well. And it's like things like this, things like gamers feeling like they are able to just like verbally abuse and give death threats to voice actors and developers for decisions that were made about video games, literal things that do not matter. I feel like that's honestly one of the biggest pain points about gaming is just how toxic these communities are towards the people that are trying to give them like some entertainment, some peace of the day, whatever it might be. And I don't understand it. I don't know. It's very upsetting.
They want a certain demographic. I'm not gonna say it, but they want certain things. But that's it.
What's crazy is that all of this stemmed from you are ruining Kevin Conroy's last performance as Batman. And it's not. It's not his last performance as Batman. They didn't ruin any performances that he did prior to this. Right. From everything we can see, he killed it as Batman voice acting. Sure, you don't like the story, but that doesn't mean his performance was bad.
And he chose to be a part of this project.
Seriously. So it's like it's this faux loyalty that you have to your nostalgia, your memory. New memories don't kill old memories. Right. So if you don't like this current thing, that doesn't mean your prior memory is tainted. And if it does, I'm sorry you're weak mentally like that. Like that's all it is. Like it's insane. I very much love to be like, don't feed the trolls, but at some point you just got to be like, yo, this person is an idiot. Look at this idiot be an idiot. So I fully get why we had to bring this up. It's just insane.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I want to ask people like this. I'm like, so could a woman or a person of color be in a game and it not be woke? And what is the example for that? Like, how do we please you in this scenario? Because clearly,
I don't even care enough about their opinion to ask them that.
Oh, I just want to court them. I just want to make them say the quiet thing out loud. Like, just say it with your chest, okay? If you're racist, you're sexist, homophobic, whatever, just say it with your chest. Don't act like, oh, this woke progressive, which, by the way, it's not even what woke started out as being, and then y'all twisted it around. But this woke progressive agenda, whatever, why are you always pushing this? Like, bro, the only one who's pushing this is you. Who said anything about any of this?
Yeah, it's it's frustrating, and you just, like I said, it's so easy to go, oh, be a bigger person, don't feed the trolls, don't do this. But at times it's just like, bro, this person is really this stupid.
Right.
It could be something. It could be something in the corner, and they're like, "Why is the thing here? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
Right.
what's going on?"
And I feel like if he was
Get
just
some
saying
help.
like, for real, I feel like if they were just saying like, oh, like this game is stupid, whatever, blah blah, I wouldn't agree with it. But now it's like I want the devs to have harm come to them. It's like how did you get to this point? Why do you want something bad to happen to people that are just making a video game? Like
People
why?
are assholes. That's really what it comes down to.
They don't see they don't see themselves as much as they used to. So now they're like, "Where are we?"
That's the crazy thing. How do you not?
That's
How
right.
do
They're
you
still
not?
there, very much prominent. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Like
know.
there'll be a small collection of some women, maybe a few people of color, and then it'll be mostly white guys. And it's like that group.
Too much.
Why is that group
Too
here?
much of that. Too much of that. Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
that's true.
god.
Too much of that. I'm saying like, I hope there's more of it. Seed, bitch. Like, that's how I feel. Like it's just dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah, it is.
It's just I like see this is where I feel like DRM can really just be excellent. Just turn off the guy's console. Just revoke all access. Just, because I'm sure, especially if you've been posting clips of like whatever game you can play, they can totally hunt down your account. Turn it off. Make sure it doesn't work anymore.
I mean, in this tweet, isn't it like a scene, like they're like the whole game is basically getting.
I mean, that entire game is leaked. Let's be honest.
They hate the game, but they're still like somehow playing it and showing it. I don't know. It's just very interesting.
Because they're not playing it; they're selecting scenes from it. They hate.
Yeah, it's and a lot of it is performative. It's the I can out here and bitch about it, and now I look like I got these internet cool points to this crowd, and I'm gonna sit back and still play this game.
You gotta also think like a lot of these people on Twitter are performative at this point because they want to check.
Yep.
That's really what they're doing now. Like whatever gets them the view or the clicks right now, they don't give a damn. Like,
it's
a lot of that down
too. Well, say nothing.
It's an interesting time. That's all I can say.
Yep.
Yeah.
All you can do.
Don't interact with those posts unless you're reporting it.
I never do.
Oh, I reports.
There you go.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't give them any traction.
So should we close out with some positivity then? This is like I said, this has been a lot of doom and gloom. This whole thing, I think none of us think the game industry is really dying, guys.
No,
peek behind the curtain.
I would say it's evolving.
It's definitely evolving.
Yeah.
Stop firing 10,000 people a day though.
That part.
Let's calm that down.
Let's
right. Like we're almost. I think it's like 10,000 people got laid off last year, or we're almost at that number, and it's January. It's so terrible. January. It's insane.
We have just begun.
But, we started on State of Play with some good news. So let's end it on some more good news, Didge.
Yeah. The Day of the Devs. If you don't know about that program, it's a collective that essentially they highlight indie games. So they highlight a lot of small developers. Just through different showcases, different in-person events. It does a lot for the industry and helps a lot of people get their name out there and reach people who they may not otherwise, just in terms of like marketing budgets and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the other day, I think it was actually yesterday, maybe Monday, they did tweet out that they're now 100% independent and 100% nonprofit. So every single one of your development or every single one of your donations, obviously you have the operations cost, whatever, but it's going directly to the developers that they're looking to help, whether it's, like I said, again, putting on those in-person events, putting on those showcases, and really helping those people get their names out there. And awesome. I wanted to make sure we highlighted that here, especially because of the nature of our conversation. and really showcase that there is still a lot of good that's happening in the game industry. There's a lot to be excited by. I know I keep saying that, but when I say that, I don't only mean just the games in general. There's a lot of programs and stuff that are helping new developers, indie developers, and developers from a multitude of different like backgrounds. So
yeah, PlayStation just partnered with the African developer company, so or development studio, I should say.
Nice.
You know, it's all good things happening every day as well.
Yes. Like I said, it's very easy to go. And we all do it. It's to go down that doom spiral. You start doom scrolling. You see so much negativity. And one thing I want to make sure that we do, especially when we start doing some of these games talks, is to really highlight the good as well. And just keep people feeling a little bit more positive.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Got you, Joel. It was specifically for you.
Yeah. Yeah, the industry isn't dying, y'all.
It is not
solved. It's not done. There's a lot of change going on, and change is scary. It's definitely scary.
Definitely scary.
But I'm hoping by the end of it, we'll all come out for the better.
Just gotta get some unions in there.
Hey, you know what? I like that. I like that idea. We should.
Should we do what we playing instead of what we watching?
Ooh,
sure,
yeah.
I'm not playing very much.
That's clickbait. Well, hey.
No.
Just like everything else.
It was a question, and we answered it.
We didn't say the game. We didn't say that it was dying. We asked you guys.
All right.
Tell us in the comments.
Misleading.
Let us know what you guys there.
Well, I'm playing Evil West right now. So
I'm actually really interested about. I have no idea what that game is. You've been talking about it for the past like 4 days, and I have no idea what that game is.
I'm having fun. It's something I want. It was it's in PlayStation Plus, of course. That's
okay.
What most of my games go for right this moment.
Hey, so yes, that's those subscriptions. Those subscription dollars at work.
Game Pass is paying for most of my games right now.
So, but yeah, it's really fun. He's got like a gun and like an electric shield and gets more weapons as you go along, and it's cool. It's fun. Like you're fighting like these monsters or demons, monsters, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
third person action cowboy demon fighter. That's what it is.
It's very directed, kind of
cool.
like God of War. That it's like point you in the right direction. It's not an open world or anything. So it's straightforward story.
It looks
fun
interesting
though.
from the stuff that you were showing. Yeah. So Joel, you were familiar with this game?
Yeah. I remember the trailers for it, and it looked interesting, but I was worried it might get repetitive because, like, those type of games, either they're really good with a good story, good action, or sometimes it's just action and the story's kind of limited, and you kind of end up repeating yourself. So that was, and I had other things to play. That's usually what came down to it. But I was definitely looking at it because it looks pretty cool. That's my type of game. Like those type of games are my type of games. So it's like that definitely in my ballpark. So it's good to hear that he likes it.
It's fun. Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Jamie?
I've been playing Persona 5 Tactica. I've been liking it. It's definitely it's a departure from the classic Persona combat, which is a bit unfortunate, but it also does its own thing and it's having fun along the way. So I've been enjoying it.
Is it a strategy game?
It is a real-time strategy game, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so
it's like a grid?
Say what?
Is it like a grid?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
that's the first one I've ever played, and I'm gonna enjoy
really?
it. Yeah.
You never played?
Yeah, I played a little bit of some other ones, but I never committed. So yeah, this is the first one I will finish. No, actually, I've heard good things, but no, I've never played it.
I remember Onimusha Tactics. That was fun.
I never played that one.
That was on Game Boy. Oh, it was on one of those.
Interesting. But yeah, I've been playing that in Ocarina of Time. Ocarina's been great. I did just get lost. So.
It's easy to get lost.
It's very easy to get lost.
I finished the Death Mountain dungeon, or the Dongo's Cavern. I finished that, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, go find the Water Kingdom." And I was like,
Oh boy.
I
That's
was
because
like,
back in those days, you used to have to buy the guide for the games.
Yeah.
well,
Lost.
my
Lost.
guide
Man.
was IGN.com on this day.
Yeah, I'm sure they digitized them by now, but
Yeah.
oh my god, I remember having to go there, walk up to the Walgreens just so I can get the guide for the
guide.
games.
Yeah. They were
Man,
fun though, strategy
they
guides.
were.
No,
They were.
when that type of stuff happened with me, I stopped playing the game.
Oh damn!
Oh, don't do
No.
that.
Me and my brother used to be at
I've
Walgreens.
never bought a guide. So, no,
Really?
I've
Oh
never bought
my
a guide in my
god!
life.
I haven't either, but by the time I started playing games
You had the
that were
internet.
actually like difficult enough
Oh,
to need a
fair.
guide, I had the internet. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
we
forgot.
did not have
Joel, our
internet.
yeah.
Yeah, we had a nice, cool looking book.
Yep.
Had pictures.
Man,
and,
every
yeah.
week I would go to Walgreens with my brother. We'd walk up there and it was all right. This is the game I'm playing this week. I need the guide for it. Here it is. It used to have, especially like when you had Mortal Kombat and stuff, it would have
all the
like
moves.
all the
the
fatalities and
commands,
stuff in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, then you get the nice cool demo disc.
Mhm.
You know, stuff I used to miss, cheat codes.
cheat codes are fun. Cheat codes
Better
are
than the
fun.
game.
Especially in like Grand Theft Auto.
Mhm.
Did you guys
Yeah.
ever have the Game Shark? That
Yes,
used to be
sure
great.
did.
I had Game Genie. I go that far
I
back.
had Game Genie as well.
Game Genie, yeah.
And a good time with a rocket launcher.
Mm-hmm.
Blowing up the cops and running. Fun.
What about you, Joel?
Who am I playing?
Yes.
I'm at the end of Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
I'm just very hesitant to fight Ganondorf
Why?
because I struggle with the stupid Minotaur thingy.
Wait.
I hate those guys, man.
Have you
They're
seen the
worse.
Coliseum?
I don't think so. Have I?
Ooh.
Yeah,
You
those
should
guys
go
suck,
in.
bro. So it's like, if I can't get past him, I don't want to get past Ganondorf.
Listen,
it.
it's through
so
hard
annoying.
work and determination.
So right,
You say that when you're finna go through a lot
Bulk
of
up.
pain, so
It's so I'm bulked. My problem is like right now I wanted to go in with a specific tunic set.
have a lot of hearts.
I
Yeah.
have hearts. I got fairies. My only thing is like
Food.
food. I got
Yeah,
food.
Christian
I
messed up on
gotta
that
add
one.
more food.
Man, let me
Shout
tell
out
you, it
to
was so
Phil Hopkins.
frustrating. It was so frustrating watching because every time we knew how much he had, but it was just like seeing it happen again, and it was like, damn it, why didn't you prepare better?
Yeah. That's why I was like, oh man, I don't want. Like my thing is getting all the way through and I've been wasting all of it on the way. Like I can't just get to him and fight him. I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to go back. Like
you can kind of
it's
skate
annoying.
by some things, but some actually there. Be prepared. Be prepared.
Yeah, I'll say that.
That was no confidence.
I do got all the sages, and I got basically everything. I just gotta do it at this point. But I've definitely been dragging my feet on that. I did start while I was dragging my feet. God of War Valhalla, like I started the DLC.
That's
just
fun DLC.
I was having fun with that. It was interesting. I'm like, this is it's pretty cool. I haven't gotten very far because I've been going back and forth, and I just got Suicide Squad. So it's like, all right, now I just started. I haven't played a lot of that either. I've honestly haven't got past where we were in the demo or whatever the fuck the alpha.
Yeah.
So I'm still working through it. But I got all these cool skins I want to put on, but I want to go through the story first, then I'll worry about what I look like. But that's really it. Them three things, and I have Mario Wonder, but I want to finish Zelda first.
So many games.
Well, a lot of it's backlog. Zelda's a backlog. Mario's a backlog. God of War was DLC. I already finished God of War technically, but
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm also backlog crazy right now. I'm finally playing through the Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island DLC. I had never played that. And so far it's really fun. I do not like the bow and arrow challenges.
Why?
Because gold is 7 seconds, and it's frustrating that I can't get gold in 7 seconds. The quickest I got was 8.5, and I was like, I am so mad.
You just gotta turn your sensitivity all the way up. Just keep going. Just keep
That's
going.
what I think I need to do.
I've done that
because it's so frustrating. But it's typical Ghost, and I think that might be why I'm leaning towards Dragon's Dogma instead of Rise of the Ronin.
Yeah, because it's so similar.
It's so similar, and now I'm back heavy in Ghost, obviously.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is, I don't even think Rise of Ronin is like that similar to Ghost, but everything they've shown, it looks like
so
Ghost.
similar.
That might be why they showed it that way. Maybe.
Oh, for sure.
Don't get me wrong; it's a good way to promote it, but like,
yeah,
the first time, sure. The second time, you got to be like, okay, this is Rise of Ronin. This is what you get.
They showed us a different
glide. You have a gun. It's a little different.
Yeah, they definitely showed some differences. But yeah, so I'm playing that. I'm finally getting through the Horizons.
Oh my god!
I need for a while. Every time something would come up, something new would come out, and I'm like, I gotta play this. It almost happened to get Baldur's Gate. I bought Baldur's Gate, and I was like, no, I gotta finish the Horizon. So like, I'm very casually playing Baldur's Gate because I want to finish those. Because I also have you get the DLC with both of them. Jeez. So I want to play those, and it's like it all looks so much fun.
Games? Yeah.
You get the DLC with it when you get it through PlayStation Plus. So I want to play through both of those. It's been sitting there for so long.
Same. He's been telling us about this for a while.
Because every time I would start and go back, like, all right, I'm finally back into them. Something new would come out, and it's like, all right.
Yeah, that shit was not a good. It's gonna be me with Final Fantasy. Get used to it. I'll be talking about it till like Christmas.
Seriously,
when does that come out?
At the end of February, like 20.
Yeah, I think it's like the 28th.
I might have to get that later in the year.
Thing like I still got to play 16. I still got to play 15 if we're being honest. Like,
that's harder because you got to switch. To me, it's like it's getting hard for me to switch back and forth the games because the controls are all different.
Yeah,
so it is. That's tough.
Yeah, that's why I like to focus on one game. But Zelda's been,
Yeah,
I went back to Hogwarts and was getting my ass whooped. I said, "Wait a minute,
man! those first few missions back at Ghost.
Wait a minute,
man! I was getting it. I tried to charge in. You know how you can do the standoff.
Yeah,
I got the first two, and then it was time to actually fight. Oh my god, they was kicking my ass. I had to retreat to heal up.
Yeah.
Look at the
They don't play. They don't play on Iki Island.
I noticed.
I wanted to play Iki Island, but I also said like, I didn't want. At the time, I just didn't want to pay for it. Is really what it came down to. But now I
got it for free.
Yeah, now you can get it for free. But at the time, I didn't have PlayStation Plus at the time. Yeah, so
it was $10. I should have bought it.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I still need to go finish it though.
Yeah, I don't know I mean, if you guys say it's good enough to go, maybe I'll play it.
It's a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. The beginning, I almost was off of it immediately. I thought it's a quick spoiler. I thought you lost your horse again, and I was like, I'm not going through
I'm emotionally attached to that horse.
That's what I'm saying. It's your second one already, so I'm like, bro. I thought he lost it again, like, and I'm like, bro, if I gotta find the third horse, I'm out. I'm out. Like, he literally is yelling out. I don't know what you named George. I named mine Kaze. So he's out there yelling out Kaze.
Oh my god!
Oh, that was my first one.
I'm like, mine was Kage the first one.
Yeah, Kage was mine. Shadow.
Yep. And so I'm like, no, man, you can't lose Kaze. We out here. We're done if we lost them.
Yeah, that was, oh my gosh. I never felt so bad for a horse in my life.
I was devastated. I was gonna kill everyone now.
Yeah. I was ready. Everybody had to go after that first one.
It was John Wick. I'm like, everybody.
Yeah, it was John Wick.
Everybody got to die now.
The next base I showed up to after that one, everybody died.
Yeah.
That's my first time hearing about a horse in this game. Interesting.
Oh, you didn't play it? You didn't play Ghost?
You should.
Y'all never talked about a horse before, ever. Like,
we probably don't. I mean, it's not really a part of the core gameplay, but you do ride a horse a lot.
Yeah, it's like riding
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I thought the Rise of the Ronin thing, I was like, oh, it's a horse. I thought that was a thing. So that's really similar then. If it's
honestly, most games have
done
horses if you don't have a car, right?
It's not a core. It's not a core
I
gameplay
thought you just ran
like
around
Jamie
and
said.
dashed around.
No,
you can't, but that take forever. So
yeah. It's not core like Jamie said, but there's a definite distinct plot point where you lose your horse, and that's a very distinct
and that
point
horse
in the
is
game.
always with you, so it's like it hurts.
Yeah. And you name it and everything.
Yeah, they make you get real. You get different things for it.
Yeah, you get like the different saddle and like the I don't know what they call the thing on the face.
Shit.
Yeah.
Sad.
I had to take everybody out, Trevon. It was I was not a samurai that day.
Ghost.
I was truly the ghost that day.
That's not how that type of samurai would be.
Well, that's the whole thing about that game is the struggle between being an honorable samurai or an assassin you don't see coming.
You can choose,
and you know the interesting
you
part.
can pick whichever way you want.
The interesting part about that, you should. They talk about how like different elements of the game react to like if you play like honorably or like dishonorably, and like I feel like that part was kind of bullshit. Like it rains all the time, even no matter if I'm honorable or not. It just rains.
I'm gonna ask you guys off air which ending you guys went with.
If I can remember.
Yeah,
that's why I wish games use that more. Like the choices you make really do affect the game, because I really wanted that to happen in Hogwarts. Like I would like.
No, man, I'd have got sent to Azkaban. The amount of times I was
and I fight my way out.
I was
fun.
I didn't use them a lot.
Crucial.
I
did.
did.
I
my god!
Yeah, I did.
I was in
Once
that
I got them, it was a wrap.
I learned one or two, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh no. Crucial, it sounds horrible. Crucial was the one I used the most because it also compounded and it would hit other people.
Yes, you hit them with Imperial, and I just sit back and watch them fight. Oh, look at you killing yourselves. This is nice.
I was full on a dark wizard for sure.
I like throwing them up. Throwing them around was really fun. It was a lot of cool ones actually.
I love freezing them and then cutting them.
Yeah. That shit got complicated.
JB's face.
Wow.
Freeze them and he's slicing pieces. That's great.
Oh my goodness! I gotta watch out for y'all. Don't give Trevon any kind of power, Mike.
I was telling you. That's why I told you. I want multiplayer. I want crossplayer. Like it's a time. Let's fight.
Oh my god! A wizard like multiplayer fighting game. I think that'd be cool.
I do. I really do. I think it would be fun, especially with the spells. All the spell sheets I had, I was ready.
Mm-hmm. That's what they need to do next. Add some duels.
Yeah.
I mean, they have duels in that game.
But like
back teams.
Like
I want to get somebody else. Like
yeah,
real person.
Like not a computer. You mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's tough. Yeah. The one learning that is kind of tough. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh my god, you got to deflect and you got to block,
counter,
and oh my god,
you got to switch your spell sheets in the middle of the battle. Yeah.
Oh, that was such a bitch because you have to map it right.
I sure did.
I mean, it's fun.
Killing curses on one sheet. I was ready.
Yeah, I had my favorite ones on one side, up, down, left, right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
Man. Well, y'all, I think that's it. I think we did the thing.
You'll bring it in for a landing.
All right. Well, before we close it out, Joel, we'll start with you. Where can the people go to support you and your endeavors?
I mean, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck, at Joel_J27. If you're interested, if not, don't worry about it.
All right, Trevon, how about you?
At Nerd with the Tech on all the socials except for TikTok as an underscore at the beginning because I can't find the person that has my name. And
that means we're looking for you.
That's right. Yeah, follow at your own risk.
Oh yikes!
Oh boy!
All right.
You've been warned.
We gotta get some Apple Vision Pro content out of you, Trevon. I need to know the details. I need to know.
Let's go.
Somebody need to send me one of them first.
Call up Marquez. Call up Marquez. Didge, how can the people support you?
Oh, you can follow me at Didge_D. That is Didge_DEE everywhere. And you can follow the podcast at Geek Set Podcast. Where the studio is just about done, and we'll be podcasting Sunday. Be there.
Sunday.
right.
Nice. Let's go.
Yeah.
And this has been Swiper, aka Dollar Swine Swiper, aka Hater Prime,
We got
aka
receipts.
oh gosh. Well, I do a lot of gaming content. I'm thinking about I'm not thinking about, but I'm actively writing for a video essay channel that I want to start about gaming. I actually cover a similar topic to this, so if you want to hear more about that, check that out when that goes live. But yeah,
Big money
that's all I have.
swiper, y'all.
Money
Swiping
game.
left or we swiping right?
All of it. All the above. The answer is yes.
We just
Yeah.
swiping.
Money game. But yeah, until
Money
next
game.
time,
Damn,
everybody.
money gang.
Join the money gang. Peace.
Later, y'all.